Great morning, beautiful people. Great morning to you. I hope you had a fabulous weekend. If you're joining in right now, just go ahead and share on your page, share with your friends. It's important that we grow, but it's more importantly that we grow together. And my desire is that you take some information to have some conversations throughout your day that make your day better, make your week better, and fulfill some of the promises that you made to yourself and complete some of the goals that you have set. And I am Terrell Munger, the sexiest man alive, but not because of what you think. It's because of formula that I've come up with based on your social level, your education level, and your communication level, and how it ultimately affects your influence level. Because that is what we want to do. We want influence in whatever room we go into. We want to be able to articulate our dreams, our plans, our goals, so we can make it so plain that people want to run with it. Again, I am Terrell Munger, and I'm excited about moving forward with this on this morning. Hope that losing that hour of sleep didn't bother you too much. But if it did, you're about to get a shot in the arm that's going to help you move forward in what you're trying to do today. I like to do what I call a sexy cup of coffee, which is 7 minutes of strategies to accomplish what it is you want to accomplish throughout your day. And that is what we want to do. And I'm going to jump right in. Your strategy for this week is to submit. To get the understanding of what it means to submit. A lot of people get confused because they think that submit role is subservient, because so many people have used it the wrong way. Men saying you need to submit, or maybe the understanding of slavery of slaves submitting to masters. But submission is really a powerful strategy. It is based on understanding what is going on. Is not subservient at all, because submission is really for your protection. It's something as simple as if you're riding down the street and the stop sign is there, it was put there for a reason. It's probably some other cars that could be coming and you need to stop. And if you submit to that, it empowers you to save yourself from what could be a strategy. The speed sign on the side of the road, it's a suggestion of, if you go past this speed, things become a little more dangerous in your life. And if you submit to it, you stand a better chance of controlling your vehicle and not running into the obstacles that are there. So anything that you see in place, submission is really trying to grasp and understand why have those rules, limits, or parameters been put in place. And if they need to change, there is a process in place to change those particular things. So I want to go over some acronyms of what submission really means. Submission is first to acknowledge. To acknowledge the rules that are in place, to acknowledge the process that is placed. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you're the type of person where you want people to submit to the rules or the processes that's been put in place, you have to submit to them yourself. Because if you don't submit to the rules, if you don't submit to the processes, if you don't submit to the policies, when you try to get other people to do it, they're going to say, I know this person is not trying to get me to do something that they're not living up to themselves. Now, in this day, it's even important with our kids. The things we tell our kids that they should do, we have to put forth efforts to doing it, because this is not the day of do what I say, not what I do. This is not that day. People have questions. Well, if it doesn't work for me, why is it going to work for you? And you have to be prepared to give an answer of why it is going the way that it is going. Now, I'm not saying you have to let your kids control you, or people that work under you have to spend time explaining yourself all the time. What I'm saying is you have to live up to the rules that you also want to put in place for yourself. That is very important. You have to acknowledge the importance of the rules and the processes if you want other people to follow it. So a part of submission is acknowledgement. Acknowledge where I am, be honest about where I am, and acknowledge why I want you to take this route and why it's important to you. Another one is to agree. Submission means to agree. Be an agreeable type person. I'm not saying be a yes person. I'm not saying be gullible, but just don't be confrontational. Don't be difficult to work with. Don't have a problem with everything. The coffee is too hot. The water is too cold. The sun is too bright. The air is too airy. If you complain about everything, people won't listen to your legitimate views on particular things. And one of the worst things that you can think is you're complaining because I have seniority here. I've been at this organization longer. I've done this longer. I'm older. Using that is not an excuse to be disagreeable to what you're trying to get other people to do. You have to at least be able to listen and understand other people's point of view. Why do you think that way? Why do you want this to happen that way? Oh, listen, since you're thinking that, here's a way that we both can get progress out of this. Now you're being more agreeable. You're being a little easier to work with. And that is what you want to do. You want to be a person that, even though you're trying to get people to go in a certain direction, it's not difficult to follow you. You're not disrespecting them. You're not putting weight on them that you're not putting on yourself, because the weight you put on others and how you view others is how they're going to view you. So I want it to feel like we're all moving in the same direction. How can two walk together unless they agree? So if you don't agree with the company, if you don't agree with the relationship, if you don't agree with the church, why are you walking with it? Now, there may be some things that need to change, but it's easier to work on one thing at a time. When Dr. King had his issues, it was a whole bunch of stuff in society that was wrong, but he chose a few things to operate in: the right to vote, the right to sit to wherever you want to sit on the bus. That way he has some tangible things that he can show the injustice that was there. And if you show the injustice there, you can deal with the injustice everywhere. And he used their own rules, the freedom of assembly, to begin to work on those things. So if you're going to see something that needs to be changed, you need to show that you are an agreeable person. You're ready to submit to whatever is there. It's just some things that's unfair, and we need to work on those. And now the last thing is, submission means to concede. Concede does not mean you're weak. If you look at it, Obama, when he ran for senator the first time, he didn't win. He lost. And he had to concede and congratulate his opponent and say, hey, guys, thank you for supporting me. I congratulate, blah, 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 because you're conceding. You're saying, I understand that you do not want me at this time. I understand that I'm not qualified for this position at this time. I understand that I can't get this raise at this time. But when he conceded, he showed a level of respect because he didn't want to be a sore loser. And how you handle your losses show people how you're going to handle your victories. And so he conceded. He did what he needed to do. He went and did his homework. He lived up to the bill of what he needed to do. He won senator. He ended up becoming president. Sometimes you have to concede. Maybe it's not my time. Maybe this is not the opportunity for me right now. Maybe this is not the route we need to take. And I concede at this moment. I don't give up. I don't quit. I just concede to the fact that this is not my time. This is not my moment. Let me celebrate the person whose moment it is. Let me say, hey, great job. I can learn from them, but I'll be back. But at this moment, I'm not going to let bitterness take over in my loss that get in the way when I try again and I'm ready to win. So submission is about being a person that's acknowledging what's in place, acknowledging the leadership that's in place, because I won't to be the type of person that I treat the person that's in the management position or the leadership position. I treat them how I want to be treated. Because if you treat them bad, guess what? When you get there, it's going to be a whole bunch of people gunning for you. That's why you have to handle things right. Acknowledge, be a more agreeable type of person. If some things need to be worked out, make sure you're doing what you're doing in the other areas and then work on the things that need to be done. And then sometimes you have to concede and say, it's not my time, it's not my moment, but I'll be back. All right, that's your strategy for today, to understand and learn the concept of submission. You can visit TerrellMunger.com. You can even go check your sexy score to see how effective you are in different rooms when you go to events and things like that. But make sure you leave me a message, and make sure you share this with your friends, and make sure you go buy tickets to the Mr. Provider stage play. It's going to be off the chain. This is going to be a Father's Day weekend you won't forget. But this is what I need you to do. I say it all the time, but I need you to grasp it. Whatever you do, guys, whether it's today or whether it's this week, make it meaningful, make it impactful, make it personal, but above all, make it sexy, because you're going to need that in your life. All right. Love you guys. Enjoy your day.